Good morning. I'm Rashan Gidwani, and you're watching the Daily Morning Note. It's Friday, the 3rd of February, 2023. Singapore shares fell on Thursday, led by declines in the trio of local banks. The Straits Times Index lost 0.4%, or 13.97 points, to stand at 3,363.68. Trading in the regional markets was mixed. The Nikkei 225 index rose 0.2%, the Kospi Composite Index gained 0.8%, and the FTSE Bursa Malaysia Index was up 0.3%. The Hang Seng Index fell 0.5%. Large tech shares soared on Thursday as better than expected results from Facebook parent Meta Platforms fueled hopes about forthcoming earnings from Apple and other giants. The tech rich NASDAQ Composite Index finished up 3.3% at 12,200.82. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dipped 0.1% to 34,053.94, while the broad-based S&P 500 jumped 1.5% to 4,179.76. Singapore's overall factory activity improved modestly in January, but remained in contraction territory for the fifth straight month, lagging behind regional peers. The Purchasing Managers Index inched up 0.1 point to 49.8 last month. Data from the Singapore Institute of Purchasing and Materials Management showed on Thursday. Defense and Engineering Group ST Engineering has acquired the site and assets of an existing shipyard at 55 Gull Road in Singapore from Keppel Fells, a subsidiary of Keppel Corps' offshore and marine arm, for 95 million Singapore dollars. The group will be using the shipyard for its commercial ship repair business under its marine segment, it said in a bourse filing on Thursday. Keppel Corporation reported on Thursday a 40.6% year-on-year decline in net profit for the second half ended December on the back of lower revenue from continuing operations. The group's net profit for the 6 months ended December 31st, 2022 fell to 429.1 million Singapore dollars from 722.9 million Singapore dollars in the corresponding period a year earlier. This translated to earnings per share of 0.242 Singapore dollars for the second half of financial year 2022, down from 0.397 Singapore dollars in the second half of financial year 2021. Singapore's clean energy efforts to maximize its solar power potential has made a big leap with the official opening of its massive energy storage system, or ESS, of giant batteries, the largest of such a facility in Southeast Asia in Jurong Island, which is owned and operated by Sembcorp Industries. The Sembcorp ESS that spans 2 hectares of land in the Banyan and Sakra region on Jurong Island. Nanofilm Technology said on Thursday that it expects net profit for its financial year ended December 31st, 2022 to be around 30% lower year on year, with revenue expected to fall 4%. It said in a bourse filing that this was based on a preliminary review of information currently available to the board, including the management accounts of the group. The closing date for the mandatory cash offer of Chip Eng Seng by Chairman Celine Tang and her husband Gordon Tang has been further extended to 5:30 p.m. on February 16th. This marks the third extension for the offer's close after it was previously extended on 2 occasions to February 2nd and January 19th, respectively. As at 6 p.m. on February 1st, the offer has received valid acceptances amounting to 649.5 million shares, translating to about 82.7% of the company. The European Central Bank on Thursday confirmed expectations of a 50 basis point interest rate increase, taking its key rate to 2.5%. In a statement, it pledged to stay the course in raising interest rates significantly at a steady pace, and in unusually firm language, said it intended to hike by another 50 basis points in March. It said keeping rates at restrictive levels would control price rises by dampening demand. Starbucks on Thursday reported quarterly earnings and revenue that fell short of analysts' expectations as weak international demand weighed on its results. In China, the company's second largest market, transactions at cafes open at least 13 months plunged 28%. During the quarter, the Chinese government relaxed its zero-COVID policy, which led to new outbreaks of the virus. Despite weak performance in China, CFO Rachel Ruggeri reiterated the company's fiscal 2023 outlook. Amazon said revenue in its cloud unit increased by 20% in the fourth quarter, a slower pace than analysts had projected and more sluggish than the 27.5% growth rate in the third quarter. Cloud growth appears to be moderating along with other parts of the technology industry that boomed over the past decade and accelerated in the pandemic when businesses adopted services that could foster remote work. Ford reported an annual loss on Thursday following disappointing fourth quarter earnings that reflected what it called execution problems that marred performance. Ford reported profits of 1.3 billion US dollars in the quarter ending December 31st, much below the 12.3 billion US dollars in the year ago period, boosted by an accounting gain for Ford's stake in Rivian. In our research section, Phillip Security research analyst Darren Chan maintains an accumulate recommendation for Fraser Centrepoint Trust with a target price of 2.31 Singapore dollars. It was last done at 2.25 Singapore dollars. As for Keppel Corporation, analyst Terence Chua maintains a buy recommendation with a target price of 8.95 Singapore dollars. It was last done at 7.64 Singapore dollars. For Spotify, analyst Jonathan Wu downgrades the recommendation to accumulate with a target price of 128 US dollars. The last close was at 118.14 US dollars. That's all for today. For financial news, tune in weekdays at 8:30 a.m. live on YouTube and Facebook. Please like and subscribe for more. See you again and have a great day.